Hey, doing Job 16. Okay. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are you all. Shall vain words have an end? Or what emboldeneth thee, that thou answerest? I also could speak as you do. If your soul were in my soul's stead, I could heap words up against you and shake mine head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips would assuage your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I eased? But now he hath made me weary, thou hast made me desolate all my company. And thou hast filled me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me, and my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. He teareth me in his wrath, who hateth me. He gnasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. God hath delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck, and shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doeth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin, and defiled my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Not for any injustice in mine hands. Also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no place. Also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go the way whence I shall not return. Okay. My notes I put, Job said to his friends that they were terrible at coming and trying to counsel him in his grief. And Job says he could do what they do, but that if they were having troubles, then he would say nice things to them to try to put an end to the grief, or try to comfort them a little bit. He says that he would assuage their iniquity, and assuage actually means, it's a funny word, it means to dam up or divert. So it's like, say there was a man and he's standing here and there's a little waterfall, and the little dam breaks and it causes the waterfall, whereas before it was diverting to a different way, but that starts leaking, and it starts leaking on his head. And his friend comes up, and his friend can't get up there, so his friend comes up, and it's like Job's friends were like, oh, here, let me make the waterfall a little bigger, so that you feel worse. But instead, Job said he would have got up there and maybe fix that little thing, to try to divert the water from, divert a person's grief from coming upon them all at once, God made Job weary, and he was torn by his wrath, like Job was torn by his wrath. His enemy sharpened his eyes against him, and I think that's talking about Satan, focusing on Job even more intently. Job, I think, felt that God had left him, for he prayed and no deliverance came, and his friends just continued to speak against him. So that's the part if you keep it on the level of Job. Okay, but I was just thinking, just a few things to look at here. It says that they that gaped upon me with their mouth, they have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. And it talks about Jesus being smitten on the cheek, and everybody that passed by wagging their tongues at Jesus when he was on the cross, saying terrible things. And then it says, God hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. There's a part where Jesus says that he was encompassed by the bulls of Bashan. And, okay, then, and I'm not even touching all the things in this chapter that kind of point to Jesus. His archers compass me round about, he cleaveth my reins asunder, and doeth not spare, he poureth out my gall upon the ground. Okay, and gall is supposed to be like vinegar and water, or like kind of like a wine mixture. Okay, and Jesus' gall was poured out on the ground because he didn't want to drink too much of it, and also the archers compass me round about. You know, that could be referring to the devil. You know, like shooting flaming arrows, you know, at Job, and, you know, just causing more and more and more grief. But right here, where he says, also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. You know, that's, I mean, you totally say that that's Jesus, because he was the only one that really had a perfect record on high. And then it says, oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleading for his neighbor. And Job's calling out for Jesus, because that's what Jesus became for us. He became the one that intercedes between us and the Father. When he was risen up in glory, he sits at the right hand of the Father, ever living to intercede on our behalfs with God. Okay. So, you know, and I think that because of that, it is our place now even more to intercede for our brethren, you know, with the Lord. You know, you see your brother or your sister stumbling, you know, and you know, and it concerns you and it worries you, you know, just don't be afraid, don't hesitate, lift them up to the Lord, and that the Lord might make their request and your request known to the Father, because, you know, it all comes from Him, and, you know, without that we can't do anything. So we just pray on our brothers that the Lord's perfect will be done in them. Okay, thanks.